Welcome back to the deep dive. Today we're taking a really necessary look at something often maybe pushed aside when we talk about quitting smoking.
Mm-hmm.
The grim reality of tar residue. What it
Oh.
does, the damage left behind, and importantly, the roadmap for, natural lung recovery.
Yeah, and this isn't just about the addiction side.
No, exactly. This is about the physical gunk, the chemical aftermath.
That's right. And our sources today, they're pretty detailed. Our mission is basically to unpack what tar is, show you just how destructive it can be.
Comparing damaged lungs to healthy ones, I imagine.
Yes, that too. And the stages, crucially, how it builds up, but also how healing happens. The goal is to give you, the listener, a clear path, some actionable knowledge.
Moving from feeling maybe overwhelmed to feeling empowered.
Precisely.
Hmm.
And the key difference right off the bat, nicotine versus tar. Nicotine, it's addictive, yes, but your body clears it out, pretty quickly. Days, really. Tar's the stubborn one. It sticks around, it coats the lung tissues, builds up over years. And chemically, the numbers are, well, quite startling. Sources say over 7,000 chemicals in tar.
Wow, 7,000. That really reframes it, doesn't it? Less like smoke residue and more like a chemical weapon delivered straight to the lungs.
That's not far off, unfortunately. And the really concerning part, of those 7,000, at least 70 are known carcinogens, proven cancer causers.
70. That density is just staggering. It explains why it's so dangerous.
Exactly. It's that concentration of harmful agents.
Okay, let's dig into that chemical cocktail in segment 1. We hear tar and think sticky black stuff. But what makes it so truly destructive?
It really comes down to the specific components. The sources point to things like arsenic, formaldehyde, benzene. These aren't just irritants.
No, those are serious industrial chemicals.
Right. And they go straight for the DNA. They damage it directly.
Which leads to abnormal cell growth.
Correct. And that's the link to lung cancer, obviously, but also systemically, throat, bladder, esophageal cancers. It travels.
So it's not contained just in the lungs. But you mentioned the immediate physical threat, too, like a mechanical issue almost.
Yes, exactly. Before the long-term DNA damage really manifests, there's the physical blockage. Some sources describe it almost like concrete in the airways.
Concrete. Wow.
Well, it's thick, it's sticky, it coats the bronchial tubes, the little air sacs, the alveoli.
Where the oxygen exchange happens.
Exactly. And it physically narrows those passages. Airflow gets restricted. Breathing becomes harder, more labored. It's a physical obstruction.
And I suppose the lungs visually change because of this constant assault.
Oh, absolutely. Healthy lungs are, pink, soft, spongy, designed for elasticity.
Right.
Chronic tar exposure turns them gray, even black. They become scarred, stiff, almost leathery over time. They lose that ability to expand and contract properly.
That leads us to something I found really striking in the sources, the failure of the cilia, those tiny hairs.
Ah, yes, the cilia. Crucial.
Many people know the smoker's cough, that persistent hacking. It sounds like that's actually a sign the cilia, the cleaning crew, are basically overwhelmed or shut down.
That's a perfect way to put it. Cilia are like tiny brooms, constantly sweeping mucus, dust, toxins, including tar, up and out.
Keeping the airways clear.
Yes. But tar first paralyzes them, stops them working, and with continued smoking, it actually destroys them.
So the lungs lose their self-cleaning mechanism.
Completely. They're defenseless. So toxins get trapped, infections become more common, and the body's early response is to produce tons of extra mucus.
And then try to cough it all up forcefully.
Exactly. That horrible cough is the body's desperate manual attempt to do the job the cilia can no longer do.
That paints a really clear picture of the immediate physical damage. Okay, let's shift gears in segment 2 to the timeline. The accumulation sounds pretty bleak, but there's also a healing timeline, which is encouraging.
Right. The accumulation starts immediately. First cigarette, tar starts coating. The sources break it down into roughly 3 stages. The early stage, weeks, maybe months. The body's trying to repair things. Damage here is often, partially reversible if smoking stops.
But if it doesn't stop, if the repair attempts are constantly... interrupted.
Yeah, smoking continues. You move into the moderate stage.
Yeah.
This is over years. Now you're getting persistent sticking, actual scarring. The alveoli get clogged, chronic inflammation sets in, stamina drops.
Because the lungs just can't function as well.
Correct. Reduced capacity.
Mm-hmm.
And then, after decades, you hit the long-term stage.
This is where things can become irreversible, I gather.
Often, yes. The lung tissue loses its elasticity, that springiness it needs. The risk for things like COPD, emphysema, lung cancer, it just skyrockets.
Emphysema. That's where the air sacs are actually destroyed.
Yes, or they lose their shape and function. So it's not just harder to breathe. The fundamental gas exchange itself is compromised permanently.
Grim stuff. But the flip side, the moment someone quits, the healing clock starts. That's the powerful message here. What does that timeline look like?
It starts almost instantly. That's the amazing part. Within just 48 hours of the last cigarette, those damaged cilia start to regenerate. They begin moving again.
Really? Only 48 hours. So the paralysis isn't always permanent immediately.
For many, the initial effect is paralysis, yeah. The destruction comes with more prolonged exposure. So getting past that 2-day mark is huge. Your body's own cleaning crew is starting to get back online. Psychologically, that's a big win.
Okay, so the sweepers start working again. What happens next?
Well, give it about 3 months, and you see measurable improvements. Lung capacity increases. Why? Because the inflammation goes down, mucus production reduces. You can actually feel a difference.
Less hacking, less phlegm.
Definitely. And that chronic cough usually diminishes significantly between 9 months and a year. The cilia are working better, and the lung tissue itself starts regaining some elasticity. So less breathlessness during, say, walking upstairs.
And looking further out, 1 year, 5 years.
The risk of serious diseases starts to plummet. Between 1 and 5 years post-quitting, the risk of chronic bronchitis, COPD, drops dramatically. The body is actively healing, replacing damaged cells with healthy ones. It takes time to clear all the tar, years even, but the functional recovery is substantial.
That's a great transition to segment 3, the detox roadmap. Since clearing out all that sticky tar is a long haul, what active steps can someone take to help their body push this process along?
Yeah, it's not passive. Consistency is key. You have to actively support the lungs. First, let's talk internal strategies. And number 1 is simple: hydration.
Just drinking water seems almost too basic.
It does, but it's crucial for the mechanics. Remember the mucus. Tar gets trapped in it, and it's a thick, sticky mucus.
Right.
Drinking plenty of water, and also herbal teas like peppermint, thyme, licorice root. These help thin that mucus out.
Making it easier to cough up or clear out.
Exactly. Easier for those recovering cilia to sweep away. Licorice root also has some nice anti-inflammatory properties for soothing the airways.
Okay, hydration. What else? Exercise comes up a lot. Does cardio physically force tar out?
That's a good question. It's less about chemically breaking down tar and more about expelling the mucus that contains the tar. Cardio running, swimming, even brisk walking makes your lungs work harder. Deeper breaths, faster breathing. This helps push out trapped air and, importantly, helps mobilize and expel that tar-laden mucus. Regular cardio really aids the physical clearance.
Got it. Then there's diet, fighting the chemical damage.
Yes, counteracting years of oxidative stress and inflammation. So load up on antioxidants. Think berries, oranges, apples, leafy greens.
The usual suspects for good health.
Pretty much. The sources specifically mentioned turmeric and ginger. Curcumin and turmeric, gingerols and ginger, they're great anti-inflammatories and help neutralize those damaging free radicals left by the tar chemicals.
And what about loosening the really stubborn stuff?
Steam therapy. Simple but effective. Just inhaling warm, moist air from a shower, a bath, a bowl of hot water with a towel over your head.
Old school.
Totally. It helps moisturize the airways, loosens up that sticky mucus and tar, making it easier to clear. And, you know, the sources do mention natural supplements, too. Things formulated with herbs like marshmallow leaf, asaka, stinging nettle, aimed at breaking down residue and reducing inflammation.
Okay, so that's internal support. But we also need to stop putting more tar in and stop re-exposing ourselves, right? The sources mention something specific here: oral hygiene.
Yes. This one surprises people. But think about it. Smoke coats everything: your teeth, tongue, throat.
And those tar particles just linger there.
They do. Brushing teeth is standard, but brushing your tongue, and especially tongue scraping, is critical. It removes that film of chemical residue and tar particles.
Preventing reabsorption.
Exactly. Otherwise, you're constantly swallowing small amounts, redosing your system, keeping inflammation active, slowing down recovery.
Fascinating. Such a simple habit. What about the environment?
Clean surroundings are vital. Obviously, no smoking indoors, but also regularly clean fabrics, clothes, bedding, curtains, carpets. Tar clings to that stuff.
And you can breathe it back in.
You risk low-level, constant re-inhalation, yeah. It undermines all the internal cleaning work. And for quitting itself, the sources lean towards natural methods. Gradual reduction using exercise or mindfulness for cravings and stress.
Right.
Preventing relapse is key.
Okay, so pulling this all together. For someone who's quit or thinking about it, the big takeaway seems to be Getting rid of tar is a long game, a marathon.
Absolutely, not a sprint.
But every single one of these steps, drinking water, eating well, exercising, even scraping your tongue, it all adds up. It helps restore lung function and lowers the chemical load.
Precisely. And even if it takes years to clear everything, starting these support habits immediately slows further damage. And remember, it protects your whole system. Tar chemicals get into the bloodstream, affecting the heart, blood vessels.
So helping your lungs helps your whole body.
It's all connected. Supporting lung recovery is supporting cardiovascular health, systemic health.
That's a powerful motivator. The healing is truly holistic.
Right.
Okay, final thought for our listeners. We touched on light cigarettes being a myth. People inhale deeper, driving tar deeper.
Right. No escaping it that way.
So knowing tar buildup starts immediately from the first exposure, and the damage is systemic. Here's something to consider. What impact does even occasional exposure, maybe secondhand smoke, have on our immune system's long-term programming at a cellular level? Something to mull over as you think about your path to better lung health.